Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Reggie Laster, and I am a retired police officer with 21 years of experience. The majority of my career was spent in the criminal investigation area, and I have a lot of experience in dealing with investigations that involve child abuse and the mistreatment of children. So it's a pleasure to be here before you this afternoon. I am a project coordinator with the Beau Biden Foundation, and I'm just briefly going to talk to you today about things you don't know about your child's digital life. And the hope is that at the end of this, you will take away with you some tools that will help you talk to your child or any children that you might be working with in your job capacity, and to also help other parents as well with regards to making sure that our children are safe. So with that, we'll move forward. This afternoon, we're just going to cover a few areas: bullying, online gaming, pornography, and oversharing. One thing we want to keep in mind is our children today are spending more and more time on their devices. They have access to more information today than we've ever had. And with this comes some frightening realities. Bullying, for example. About 25 to 30% of kids are bullied. 30% of children admit to bullying someone else, and more than 70% of school-age children report seeing bullying happening in the school and online. So the reality is this: your kids have either been bullied, have bullied, or seen friends being bullied. So this is something that is an issue, and we definitely want to make sure that we're talking to our young people about it. Bullying online is very unique in the sense that there's some things that you need to look out for. Children experience shaming via group text, and with that bullying can also come sharing of doctored pictures or memes that make fun of a person or make them feel bad or put them down. And then also hurtful comments with Instagram, and Instagram being just one of the many social media platforms that children use. So we asked the question, how can you know if your child is being bullied? Well, there's a few things that you want to look out for. You want to look out for emotional changes in their behavior, activity changes, not necessarily wanting to participate in activities that or activities that they enjoy, social network changes. And that can be from, changing friends, or not communicating with friends, or not mentioning friends that they normally associate with on a social basis, and device use changes. So you may see a child not on the cell phone as much, not on the tablet as much, avoiding it. And so those are all indicators that your child might be being bullied online. So with that, what should you do? Well, you need to talk to your kids. You need to make sure that you empower them to stand up and speak out when they see bullying happening. Studies have shown that most often when a bystander intervenes, bullying stops in 10 seconds. So this is something that we need to make sure that as parents and individuals who work with children in any capacity, that we are making our kids aware of the steps that they can take to actually empower themselves and put an end to bullying. Now, online gaming. I look at online gaming as almost like the new frontier. And unfortunately, when I say the new frontier, I don't mean in a good way. The new frontier, unfortunately, for individuals who want to do harm to children, such as predators. Online gaming has expanded tremendously. This expansion now allows for multiplayer online games. And what it does is it creates a large environment for players to collaborate globally. Think about that, globally. And with that, it creates an opportunity for predators all around the world to have access to our children. Games such as Call of Duty, Fortnite, those are just two examples of online games. Not to mention the apps. And these are just some of the apps that every parent should know about. Pornography is another online issue that affects our children. Children and teens are naturally curious about sex. And trust me, without a conversation, they'll find the answers online. And the answers they're finding are not necessarily the answers that you would give them. Children learn about porn through several different areas, through chat rooms, through online gaming, which we already mentioned, their peers, through threads and other anonymous platforms. And predators are on these platforms because, as we mentioned, with the internet, it's a global reach. So you have individuals from all around the world, on these different social media sites and participating and communicating with our kids through online gaming. U.S. Department of Justice is warning that with more unsupervised time on the internet, our children are more susceptible than ever for online exploitation. And when we talk about exploitation, we're talking about online solicitation and online enticement. Here in the US, there's over 300,000 children who are lured, and this is an approximation, who are lured into sex trafficking a year. And the reason why I say it's an approximation, because I suspect that there are a lot of cases that go unreported that we just don't know about. And what we have to remember is that kids and predators, they hit on the same websites, the same platforms, the same networks. And most of the time, our young people don't know the actual age of the individuals that they are communicating with. So when we talk about, pornography, we need to make sure that we're having a talk. It's more important now than ever. A recent study shows that most American kids first encounter pornography at the age of 11. So we don't need to have just one talk. We need to have multiple talks, a series of talks, and most importantly, we need to make sure that our children understand that as a parent or someone who is working in the capacity where they're helping children, our children need to feel confident that we are trusted adults that they can come to if they have questions. So a lot of the things that we've talked about leads me to, my wrap up. We need to really be concerned about our children and just oversharing in general with regards to how they conduct themselves online. Children are very trustworthy. They very often, provide too much information online to individuals who they don't know. They share their emotions, their feelings, their reactions. And unfortunately, predators can use this against children. They use it to gain their trust and build connections with them and to groom them with the hopes of, down the line being able to seduce that child, or even worse, actually engage in some type of illegal sexual act with that child. So we need to just really understand the importance of talking to our kids about not oversharing their information. When we talk to our children, we want to talk to them about setting expectations and letting them know that we need to make sure that there's limits for their use of communication. We need to ask about what apps they're on, what apps they're using, secret accounts, secret phones. Have they had any uncomfortable conversations or experiences online, or felt pressured, asked to keep a secret? And we need to talk to them about, what privacy settings are on the devices. We need to review it with them. Okay, and we need to revisit the family agreement or revisit the online protocols in your facilities or in your community programs that you also might be interacting with children. And the reason why I say we need to revisit it with them, because it's very important that we collaborate, that we create that environment of collaboration with our kids so that our children know that we're in this together. All right. Let them know that they're going to make mistakes. After all, they are learning a new skill. And when they do, they can come to you. It's very critical that our children know and understand and are able to recognize the individuals who are trusted adults. So all the topics that I just covered here at the Beau Biden Foundation, we offer even more in-depth training on each topic. So we could really spend quite a bit of time on the three areas that I just briefly addressed today. For more information, you can go to the BeauBidenFoundation.org. And I also have provided several other resources: the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, the Cyber Tip Line, the National Abuse Hotline, the Dating Violence Hotline, and the National Parent Helpline, as well as ICAC. And we actually have a ebook that covers all of the topics that I mentioned today, as well as several others. So I just want to leave you with this. At the end of the day, communication is going to be the key, and stay vigilant with regards to your children's online activities and behavior. And I hope that the information that I just briefly shared with you gives you some confidence to talk to the young people in your life and provide you with some tools to move forward and be vigilant. Thank you very much, and have a fantastic day.